Churchill 7, Judson 3. We have 9 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Ball is on the Churchill 44-yard line.
Allender back to pass. Looks right, throws, looks left and throws right. Trying to find Chris Pryor, but he overthrew him, and he had a lot of space to work with had he been able to catch the ball.
Kevin Gallivan was right there over in front of him. Churchill, left end, defensive end, got up in the air a little bit, probably forced that mistake, forced him to throw the ball a little bit higher than he wanted to, and he overthrew his receiver. So Balderas is back to punt.
So after a great opportunity for the Rockets, they've let this one get by. It's a 4th and long situation, and they're back to punt. Ricky Balderas, the man to kick. Once again, getting it very, very high. It's going to bounce at about the 5-yard line, and it skips on into the end zone.
So they'll bring it back out to the 20. Churchill will have the ball from there. 8 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It's Churchill 7, Judson 3.
Take a look at the first half statistics for you.
Doesn't look like much in the way of rushing the ball there for Baker. 7 carries for 2 yards. He usually has a better day than that. Huggins picking up the slack a little bit. 12 carries for 44 yards. McCampbell has been the big threat, 10 for 60.
First play on the second series of downs for the Chargers goes to Huggins. Up the middle, gets about 3. It'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Churchill Chargers. Arnold Baker in on the stop along with Ricky Balderas.
Some more stats. Judson, Lewis for 5 carries, only 17 yards. That's not one of JJ's good days. It's unusual. Pryor, 6 for 22. Deere, 5 for 7. Judson having some trouble running the ball, Coach.
They're having a lot of trouble against that defensive line of Churchill. Just very strong.
2nd and 7. The handoff goes to Huggins once again. He gets maybe 4 or 5 yards on the play.
Really
over the left side. Fred Nixon in on the stop for the Rockets.
Keep hearing those names a lot. Nixon and Baker. They seem to be around the bunch.
They seem to pop all around that football. Those guys are moving every play.
Pick up a 5 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Chargers. Campbell brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Handoff, faked to Huggins, and it's kept by McCampbell, but he's not going to go very far. Maybe a pickup of 1 on the play.
Coach, it almost
4th and about 2.
Excuse me, Rick. Coach, it almost looked like he had something else in mind right there and had to change his mind at the last moment and try and head upfield.
It did. It looked like, I think he wanted to pitch the ball. I think he would have liked to have gone ahead and pitched out on that option. They're trying to stay as conservative as they can. You can then work on the belly option to the fullback. Huggins has gone well for him. The pressure once again here by the Judson defense on the punter.
It's a 4th and 1 situation. The Chargers are going to kick it. We're going to have a flag on this play. They roughed the kicker without question.
Had a good shot at it. It was number 22. Bruce Cochran was in there, number 9, and also number 22, Albert Kennedy. Albert Kennedy, I think, actually got kicked in the jaw on that one, but I don't think he's concerned that much about it on this play. He's thinking about that flag down there.
George, you always try to avoid that. They put great pressure on the punter, but you always tell those young men to try and be 1 to 2 to 3 feet in front of where the punter is going to kick the ball, so you'll avoid that situation. He just was unable to do that.
Almost missed him. If that foot had been another 6 or 7 inches higher, he'd have missed him altogether.
That's right.
And Churchill would have had the ball in good position. Excuse me, Judson would have had the ball in good field position.
Wally McCampbell wondering why everybody was cheering on the play. He took the hardest hit of all. Hand up the middle goes to Harold Huggins, and he gets through a nice little hole for about 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Chargers, brought down by Julio Torres, the strong side linebacker.
Having a lot of luck against the right side of Judson's defensive line right now. They've been working on that side, strong side and weak side.
We've mentioned that this has been a fast-moving game, Coach, and I would assume that has a lot to do with field position, because Churchill, who likes to throw the ball, hasn't had very good field position all day long, although they're out of a hole now.
They are now, and they may loosen it up right here. Here's the bootleg by Wally.
Campbell not going to get much of anything on this play.
Good defensive football play.
Dropped for about a 2-yard loss by
Danny Slater, one of the tacklers.
Left defensive end, Danny Slater, and Ricky Balderas in on the stop once again.
We're just at about the 6-minute mark, 6:20 to go. The score is 7-3 Churchill. Churchill with the ball on the move. They did so well. Moved the ball very well in the second quarter. We'll see how they can do in the third quarter. We talk a lot, Coach, about how that opening of the third quarter is so important. You get some momentum going then, coming out of halftime, it can make a big difference.
Exactly. It's very, very important. Right now, what's going to happen?
3rd and 10. Handoff goes to David Baker around the left side. He's going nowhere.
Didn't get much, maybe only a yard or so.
Swarm of Rockets over Baker, led by number 52, Julio Torres, a strong side linebacker once again.
So that's going to bring up 4th and 9. We'll see Wally McCampbell back to punt again.
Judson defense looks like it's gotten itself back together here. They are really moving well now. This last drive just now, even though they had the unfortunate penalty.
Well, we've seen a number of opportunities squandered by both clubs. Penalties that have opened the door, only to have the door slammed shut once again by the defenses of both clubs. Once again, a big rush. This time McCampbell gets it off without incident. Ball falls at the Rocket 26-yard line, where it's down by the Chargers. And so Judson will set up shop, 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line.
A.J. Jones just let it go. He was the lone deep back. They had 11 or 10 men on the line, but they didn't quite come with the same kind of pressure, coach, as they did the last time. They didn't quite get as close.
I thought they might be trying to fake it. A lot of times the football team will move 10 up the line of scrimmage and drop 2 or 3 off. But they did come with some pressure, but not quite as much.
We've got 5:11 left in the 3rd quarter. Once again, the score, Churchill 7-3 over the Rockets. Handoff up the middle to Chris Pryor, and not much running room there.
Rick, you and George can probably notice they've changed their formation a little bit. Judson's moved out of its I formation, and they're starting to move J.J. Lewis around.
What are they trying to accomplish by moving out of that?
Get him out of the backfield. George is trying to get him out of the backfield, Rick, so that he can be a pass receiver, and also so they can break the keys of the Churchill linebackers.
And as you can see on the screen right now, it's in the 2nd quarter. Texas leading Arkansas 14-7. We sure wanted to pass that information on because we know a lot of you are interested in that game.
Alan Deere, fake goes to Pryor. The pitch out, fumble on the play, and it looks like Churchill recovered. Lopez got it.
30. Danny Lopez.
Alan Deere tried to get it to J.J. Lewis, and it looked like a pretty decent pitch. He just never got his hands on the ball.
Looked like there was a lot of pressure on him right away as soon as he was about to catch the ball.
It appeared as though he was trying to run before he got the ball.
Looked like he was anticipating. You could see that man coming up.
Right, he saw him, and they were right there with him. Danny Lopez is really a fighting football player. Not real big, fine, strong side linebacker.
1st and 10 for the Chargers. Handoff up the middle to Harold Huggins. Picks up 3 on the play.
Fred Nixon.
Coach, this situation here, the Chargers almost have to get something. They've had a couple of opportunities so far. They haven't been able to capitalize. Now they're deep inside Rocket territory. You would expect that they would almost have to get something out of this drive.
That's the way Jerry feels. He needs something now. Either a field goal or a touchdown will be the best thing for him. But if he can at least drive it all the way down the field, he's caused problems.
4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Handoff goes to Harold Huggins again. That defensive front four for the Rockets doesn't allow anything.
Mr. Baker and friends in on the tackle again.
Once again. Pickup of about 1 on the play.
I should say Mr. Baker and company, because it seems like there's a whole company out there.
Baker, Martin just came off the football field. He's a fine defensive tackle.
3rd and 6 from the Rocket 24. McCampbell brings them out. Makes a handoff up the middle, looking to throw the ball. McCampbell in trouble, looking for some place to go, and the Rockets are there before he can release it. Arnold Baker once again in on the stop.
The guy that got him in trouble in the first place, I think we're going to see on the replay here, is number 77, Ken McBynum. Actually came in there, tried to make a tackle, made him break his stride a little bit, broke up the play a bit, and that's what gave Baker and the rest of the guys a chance to get in there.
Mark Milligan was in on the stop as well. I believe he was the 2nd man to get hold of McCampbell. And here we go. It's 4th down. 1-2-3 kick for the Chargers again. And that's got to be a great disappointment to their offensive unit.
A.J. Jones back there. This is not, of course, to be confused with the A.J. Jones of Texas a couple of years ago. Nope, they wave off the flag.
Great looking punt. It's going to land inside the 5, roll down to about the 1-yard line. Well, the Chargers down it, and now Judson is in a hole. So with our score, Churchill 7, Judson 3. We'll be back in a moment.